Hey, Refuel, it's Pastor Ray, and I have a brand new friend I've been dying to introduce you to. This is Jessup McGregor. And first of all, Jessup, tell them what you do.
I'm the head of schools at Adventure Christian School.
And to give you a little bit of an update, where we are, Christian schools are a really, really big deal. And we have one. And when Jessup came in that was 3 years ago or so.
Yeah, a few years, it's fine.
It's blown sky high. It has grown fast enough to be the largest Christian school in the entire Sacramento region. And let me tell you, man, we have very grateful parents to have the kids getting that kind of an education. And he's also been one of our favorite people around here. I got to say this because you're on video.
Yes, thank you.
He's also one of our favorite people around here. God honoring. He has the biggest Bible of anybody on our staff. And so I asked him if he would come in and do the devotional. I wanted to introduce you to him and the school and give you a chance to just share your heart. Right. So this is not his favorite thing to do. So thank you for saying yes to this.
Absolutely.
All right, bud, you ready?
Thanks, Ray.
All right, go get him.
Let's get it. All right. Here's the thing. Working in schools, we get to see kids and adults, frankly, with all sorts of different maturity levels, right? And one of the things that makes educators really great is the ability to interact with kids and adults with all sorts of different maturity levels. But that doesn't mean that those adults are immature. It actually means they're very mature. What am I talking about when I say maturity? One of the things that I've found watching kids mature over many years, many different schools, one of the big indicators that I've seen is really a shift from a focus on self to a focus on others. That's one of the key factors. And I would posit the same thing I've seen in many Christians over the years too, is this sense of spiritual maturity, moving away from what Christ did in me when I first became a Christian and moving towards what that thing he did in me means about the way I should love and serve others around me. Now, when Paul was writing to the Corinthians, he was pretty clear with them about his view of their level of maturity. He writes this, "Brothers and sisters, I could not address you as people who live by the Spirit, but as people who are still worldly, mere infants in Christ. I gave you milk, not solid food, for you are not yet ready for it. Indeed, you are still not ready." Anybody feel like that sometimes? I do. "You are still worldly, for since there is jealousy and quarreling among you, are you not worldly? Are you not acting like mere humans? For when one says, 'I follow Paul,' and another, 'I follow Apollos,' are you not mere human beings?" Reading that passage, it seems pretty clear to me that the Christians in Corinth were pretty immature in their faith. They were really focused on themselves, because what else causes me to be jealous but being concerned about what I'm missing? What else causes me to be so boldly proclaiming who it is that I follow, who I subscribe to, or dare I say, who I vote for, other than what that means about me as the follower? I would say a pretty quick look around in our world today would let you know that we're not that far off from the Corinthians were back in then. If you look around today, are we still quarreling? Absolutely. Are we still jealous? Yes. Do we still fight over who we should be following, who we should be voting for? Sometimes, yes, this is true. So what is it that makes us do that? I would argue it's the spirit of immaturity in us and the spirit of selfishness. So how do we grow in our spiritual maturity? I would say it's similar to the way we grow in our human maturity. See, we go to school, we learn, we study, and over time, we grow in knowledge and hopefully in wisdom. Most of us do at least. And we also submit ourselves to more mature people around us, our parents, our teachers, our coaches. And I would argue that maybe growing in our spiritual maturity is not that much more complicated than the way we matured as human beings. Here's the thing. We can still go to school, church. We can still study our textbook. God gave it to us in our Bible. We can still surround ourselves with mature folks who can help us grow in our spiritual maturity. So I've got 3 questions for you. Number 1, what does your attendance record look like? No, I don't mean your school attendance record, although that is important too. What does your church attendance record look like? Are you showing up? Are you getting engaged? And are you connecting? Number 2, what does your textbook look like? Does it look like a textbook that's been well loved, well used, marked up, meditated on, annotated? I hope so. And number 3, is there somebody today that you need to connect with? A phone call, a text, or a conversation who's one of those mentors for you, just like your mom, your teacher, your coach used to be in this day and age, that's helping you grow in your spiritual maturity. Be encouraged today, my friend. God has already given you everything you need to grow in your spiritual maturity. So why not pause now and ask him what he's calling you to in your next step of your journey?